Good day, everyone. How are you doing today? How has been trading this week? If you can hear me loud and clear, please drop a comment. How has been trading? My week has been great. It's been profitable. My week has been profitable. God has been blessing me. God has blessed me this week. It is profit back to back on good. I've made over 1,000 plus pips on gold. I've made over 1,000 plus pips on gold. 1,000 pips on gold. How is it going at your hand? How is it going at your hand? If you have any question, any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. The market has been good to me this week. The market has been good to me this week. How is it going at your hand? How is it going at your hand? Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm you can also see my screen. You're welcome to today's live stream. You are welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Confirm you can hear me. Confirm you can hear me. I want to be sure you can hear me before I start the class. I want to be sure you can hear me before I start the class. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Wow. This is massive on gold. I'm waiting for your response. I want to be sure you guys can hear me. God is doing wonders. God is doing wonders. God is doing wonders. Okay, I want to believe you guys can hear me. So let's go straight to business. Straight to business. So let's start by looking at the fundamentals for the day. What are the news that will be released today? Okay, has released its policy rates, and you can see the forecast is the same as the actual. The forecast and the actual is the same. Okay, so that could be positive for yen and it could be negative depending on the currency you're trading it against. Depending on the currency you're trading it against. For example, if you're trading it against Great Britain pounds, you need to check the policy rate for Great Britain pounds. If the policy rate for Great Britain pound is higher than this, let me just Google, let me see. Um, let me see. Good morning. Okay, so September 18, 2025, the last policy rate for Great Britain was 4%, which was maintained by the Bank of England on September 18, 2025. The rate has been held steady at the last monetary policy committee meeting. Rate is 4%. Date of decision, Bank of England. So I think the Great Britain um, is higher than of JPY is buying. Can you see why GBP rate is technical GBJ. So I it's in brief financing rates, and yeah, by 2:50 p.m. also this is and 2:45 euro 2:45 p.m. time. Okay, so straight to the comment section. So as you see, yesterday, I told you guys we should more bearish move on the yen. So you guys we should expect. You can see how price pulled back. So you guys, I'd love to see price pull back into this zone or this zone before bearish. You can see that was what played out yesterday. You can see pull into that zone. You can see respecting that zone, and it has been bearish. I told you guys that on this weekly time frame that yen is likely going to fail before it retraces. So yen is likely coming to fill this fair value gap. Okay, so that could be the next target for yen. Yen is still very bearish. Yen is still very bearish, but this is not the right time to sell. It's not the right time to sell. If you are not sold, best entry if you're trading with the time frame would have been the close of yesterday. Yesterday candle close as a shooting star. Okay, so that would have been the best entry on GJ. Sorry, on yen. You should have started selling yen after the close of. You can see what we had here. We had a shooting star. We had a shooting star. It's a bearish shooting star, not a bullish shooting star. So you don't have to wait for the next candle to close. So the first thing they did yesterday was to sweep the liquidity residing at this previous high, and also they filled this fair value gap that was created here. You can see this fair value gap. Okay, you can see they swept the liquidity, filled the fair value gap, and it's been you have sold in after the close of yesterday. Selling at current market price is very high. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Is everything okay now? Is everything okay now? Okay, how is the screen now? Is it moving now? Is the screen moving now? Is everything okay now? Is everything okay now? Okay, okay. All right, thank you, thank you. Okay, so like I said, we have a shooting star on dollar. I'm looking for opportunity to sell the dollar. Okay, I'm looking for opportunity to sell the dollar. I'm going to share my buyers on GU and EU with you guys in a few minutes. I'm looking for opportunity to buy GU. I'm also looking for opportunity to buy EU. Okay, so let's see GBP USD. GBP USD. Okay, so GBP USD, I'm looking for opportunity to buy, but I want to see, let's start with the daily. Let's start with the daily. So yesterday was strongly bearish after FOMC meeting. There was a massive drop on GBP USD after the FOMC meeting. There was a massive drop on it did over how many pips yesterday? Over, I think GBP USD did over 100 pips yesterday. Yeah, it did over 100 pips yesterday after the news. Okay, so we had this low here. Let's see if this liquidity was swept. Okay, so that sell, this low here, previous low, could be this reason for this massive drop. The sell, this low could be the reason. They had to come for the liquidity residing at this low. You can see that they had to come for the liquidity residing at this low, and also all the liquidity residing at this low. They had to sweep all the stop losses residing at these lows. Okay, so now after the close of yesterday candle, let's see the pattern we had on 4-hour. Let's see the pattern we had on 4-hour. Please give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done that. Give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done that, so that others can get to see this video. Okay, 4-hour. Okay, so you can see what we have on 4-hour. You can see we had an hammer on 4-hour time frame, and the next candle closed bullish. Also, this is an hammer. You can see a hammer. So this is a bullish reversal pattern. This is a bullish reversal pattern. Okay. Now, what am I looking at on EU? Now it has created the resistance here. It has created the resistance here. Okay. It has created the resistance here. And if you go down to lower time frame, let's go down to lower time frame. Let's go down to lower time frame. Okay, so this is what we have on 1 hour. Okay, let's go down to 15 minutes. So you can see this 15 minutes. This is where I want to look for opportunity to buy. This is where I want to look for my bullish pattern to buy. Okay, this is where I want to look for my bullish pattern. You can see what played out last night. There was an attempt to fill this fair value gap. There was an attempt to fill this fair value gap, and you can see the candlestick pattern that formed at this point. This is an hammer. Now, most retail traders would have executed buy last night. Most retail traders would have executed buy last night, and their stop losses will be residing at this low. Okay, so also some traders who have executed buy from this point, their stop losses will be residing at these lows. So I want them to sweep all this liquidity before I would go bullish. So this is where I'll be looking for my buy opportunity on GBP USD. If I'm buying from this zone, my stop loss will be 10, 15 pips below the low of this candle. 10, 15 pips below the low of this candle. Anything that makes the market hit my stop loss, it means GU would sell. So I don't have to fight with the market. I just have to exit. I just have to exit. Okay. So my stop loss will be 10, 15 pips below the low of this candle. So this is where I'm considering buying GBP USD today. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section. Okay. Let's see Euro USD. Same thing on Euro USD. This is 15 minutes time frame. Okay. Go down to lower time frame. There's a fair value gap here that needs to be filled. Okay. There's a fair value gap here that needs to be filled. Okay. So on GU we have, EU, we have this fair value gap here. There has been several attempts to fill this fair value gap. Okay, this was the first attempt. Second attempt, you can see they didn't fill it. So there's a high probability they will come and sweep these lows. Okay, and if you go down to maybe 5 minutes, there's a fair value gap around this area. Let's see on 5 minutes. The fair value gap around that area. Okay, so you can see the candlestick pattern that formed. Let me go back to the daily. So yesterday also was strongly bearish. It was bearish, and after the close of the daily time frame, what pattern do we have on 4 hour? The bullish reversal pattern. Okay, 4 hour also was strongly bearish. But if you go down to 1 hour, you can see we had an hammer here. We had an hammer here, which indicates change in trend from bullish to, from bearish to bullish, right? Bearish, and you can see it has been, after the formation of the hammer, you can see it's been buying. So if you had missed buying from this point, best you wait for price to pull back to, okay. So let's go down to 5 minutes at this point. There is a fair value gap. Okay, so we have a tiny fair value gap here. We also had this fair value gap. Okay, we also had, though this one has been filled at this point, but I feel they might want to come and retest this zone. Okay, so one would have actually bought from this point, right? One should have bought from this point. Okay, but since you have missed entry from this point, this is about 10, 11 pips above this level. Because if you are buying from this point, your stop loss has to be below this fair value gap, because there's a high probability they might come to fill this fair value gap. So your stop loss will be at least 10 pips below the low of that candle. Okay, your stop loss has to be below the low of that candle. Okay, it has to be below the low of this fair value gap. The 10 pips below this low, that will be 1.1595, 1.1595, 1.1595, and the market is currently trading at 1.1622. That's about 30 pips risk, 30 pip, which is not much. Or you could set your stop loss at this low. Okay, so that's my take on GU and EU. I'm looking for buy opportunity, but I would love to see price come retest this level. But if price does not retest that level, then I wouldn't be taking this trade. I want to see price pull back to this zone before buying, so that my risk, my stop loss will not be too high. Okay, so that's my take on Euro USD. I'm looking for buy opportunity. Euro USD might come sweep the liquidity residing at this. Okay, so you can see this fair value gap it's created here. So if you are buying, this should be your target. This should be your target. Okay, they might also sweep. You can see all these relative equal highs here. They might sweep those relative equal high between now and tomorrow. They might sweep this relative equal highs, but this should be your first target. This should be your first target. This should be your second target. Okay, let me check the calendar. Is there any news for the dollar tomorrow? Let's see. Is there any news for the dollar tomorrow? Okay, there is no major news for dollar tomorrow, October 31st. No major news for the dollar. No major news for the dollar. Okay. If you have any question or any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. Okay, let's look at gold. Gold has really been good to me this yesterday. Today I've made over 1,000 pips, 1,004 pips on gold between yesterday and today. Still have a buy trade on gold. It's approaching my target, man. This is massive. This is massive. Gold has, in fact, it has put smile on my face this week. So much pips. So gold is likely going to sweep this high this week. Okay, it's going to sweep. Let me go to the weekly. Gold is likely going to sweep the high for this week. That's my expectation on gold. This high here, it's likely going to sweep it, and I still see gold sweeping this relative equal high. But this might not happen this week. But this week, it's likely going to sweep this high. Okay, that's my expectation. I'm not going to wait for it to get to that level, okay, before I close my trades. Right now, at least the risk reward on that trade is about 1 to 3 right now. It's about 1 to 3. So this is my first target. Once the market gets to this level, I'm going to close partials. Now you can see the pattern we had on gold. This was on Monday. This was on Tuesday. You can see the pattern. We had an hammer on Monday, a bearish hammer, and after the formation of a bearish hammer, you wait for the next candle to close bullish before you buy. Well, the next candle, which was yesterday candle, right? This was yesterday candle. This was Tuesday candle. Wednesday candle closed as an inverted hammer, a bearish inverted hammer. We cannot buy after the formation of a bearish inverted hammer. The next candle has to be bullish. So if today's candle closes bullish, then we should expect more buys on gold. We should expect more buys on gold if today's candle closes bullish. Okay, so let's go down to 4 hour and see what's happening on 4 hour. Congrats, the max. Congrats. I'm happy you caught the move. Okay, so you can see if you apply your Fibonacci from this swing low, this swing high, you can see price pulled back to a discount area. And after pulling back to a discount area, you can see the candlestick pattern that formed. This looks like a spinning bottom. You can see a spinning bottom indicating change in trend from bearish to bullish. And you can see gold has been buying after the formation of the candlestick pattern. I keep saying it. All you need to master, understand, is the candlestick pattern. If you are able to identify candlestick pattern, trust me, you will do well in trading. You will be profitable. Candlestick pattern. Go back and study candlestick pattern. Go back to the basics. Study candlestick pattern. Study candlestick pattern. And there are 6 candlestick patterns. 6 or 7 candlestick patterns that I recommend. Some of all these other candlestick patterns, I'm not interested in those ones. 6, 7 candlestick patterns that I recommend. If you get my course, you get to know those 7 candlestick patterns that I recommend. And there are 2 or 3 among those 7 that I use in entering my trade, that I use for entry. You get the course, you get to know those patterns that I use for my entries. Okay. Now you don't just learn candlestick patterns alone. You also need to learn Fibonacci. You know, the candlestick will just tell you, okay, it's time to buy, it's time to sell, but you need to know where to enter. Are you getting me? You need to know where to enter. Most traders know how to analyze the market, but their challenge is entry and exit. That is the challenge of many traders. Most traders are very good at technical analysis, but their challenge is knowing when to buy, the best entry price and exit price. That is the problem of many traders. That's the problem of many traders. Okay, so that's it for gold. Gold is still bullish. It's coming for this high. If you have not entered buy from this point, don't buy from the current market price. It does not make sense for you to buy. It does not make sense to buy from the current market price unless you are willing to take that high risk. Unless you are willing to take that high risk, the risk is too high. If you are buying from this point, your stop loss will be here. What is the risk reward from this point to this point? Look at the risk reward. Very poor. So please don't buy. I'm not asking you to buy gold right now. If you have missed the move, just relax. If you want to buy, wait for a retracement. Let's see what's happening on 1 hour. Wait for a retracement. You can see this fair value gap we have here. Maybe price will pull back, but I doubt if it will pull back to this fair value gap. I doubt. Okay, you might want to wait for price to pull back. This is where you should consider buying, or there's a breakout from this resistance. wait for a retest before you buy. If you have not bought gold, wait for a retest. I hope it will come retest it. If it doesn't come, let it go. You've missed that move. Wait for the next move. I hope that is clear. That's my take on gold. Which other pair do you want me to analyze? Which other pair? Which other pair? Which other pair? I want to believe you've given the video a thumbs up. Give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done that. Just 2 persons have given the video a thumbs up. If you are yet to give it a thumbs up, please do that right now. Do that right now. Do that right now. Okay? Do that right now. Baba, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm in a class. I'm coming. Okay, so that's it on gold. Which other pair do you want me to analyze? GBBJPY, I missed GBBJPY move because of sleep. I missed GBBJPY move because of sleep. I missed it. I missed it. But as it is right now, I think if 1 hour candle closes bearish, I think I'm going to trade. I'm going to trade the pullback on GJ. Don't buy GJ from this point. Those of you who caught the move early, congratulations. Congratulations. Those of you that joined the trend early, congratulations. But I think with what I'm seeing on 1 hour time frame, we might see a little retracement to a discount area. You can see on GJ we have this fair value. You can see we have this fair value gap. So if I'm going to sell, this will be my target for GJ. This will be my target. Or I could first target this resistance to support. This will be my first target. And if I'm selling from the current market price, my stop loss will be just few pips above the high. I can just use this high as my stop loss. So 202, man, that risk is high. The market is currently at 202.87. I set my stop loss at 203. That's about 70 pips. Wow, that risk is high. That risk is high. So my stop loss would be, shouldn't be more than 40 or 50 pips. So I would use this high as my stop loss. This high, that's 203.31. That's about 50 pips. That's where I'm going to set my stop loss. And my take profit to be here. So let's say I'm risking 50 pips and my stop loss is at 201.93. That's about 90 something pip reward, which is okay. Is okay. Is okay. So you can see reason why to buy from this point or sell from this point. You can see the pattern we had here. This is a shooting star on 1 hour time frame. Now, if you go down to lower time frame, let's go down to lower time frame. Let's see there's a fair value gap that was created on 15 minutes. At that point, let's see. Okay, so you can see there's a fair value gap is created here. And I think that's where the market is at the moment. I think this gap has been filled. You can see this gap has been filled. Let's go and see. Let's see. You can see. Can you see the reason for the sell? Can you see? Price has filled that fair value gap and the market is trading below that fair value gap. Can you see that? So there's a high probability it's going to pull back to this. So my stop loss will just be like few pips above the high of this candle. Let's say 20 pips above the high of this candle. Can you see that? I think I want to take this trade now. Okay, I think I want to take this trade now. I want to take this trade now on few minutes, please, on GJ. So if I'm setting my stop loss 20 pips above the high of this candle, the high of this candle is 203.15. 20 pips above, that will be 203.35. 203.35. Let me just use 40 pips. If I use 40, no, 203.35, that's about 50 pips. Okay, a few minutes, please, guys. I want to take this trade. 50 pips. What lot size would I use for this trade? What lot size? 0.50 pips. Okay, let me go with this. So executed. 20 pips above. That's 203. My stop loss is at 203.35. 203.35. 203.35. If you have any question or any pair you want me to analyze, please let me know. Let me know in the comment section. If you have any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. All right, that has been executed. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Which pair do you want me to analyze? Which pair do you want me to analyze? Let me know in the comment section. Is there another pair you want me to analyze? Is there another pair you want me to analyze? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, GBP, JPY. Okay, let's see Euro Aussie. Euro Australian dollar. Okay, Euro Australian dollar is bullish. I missed this move on Euro Australian dollar. I missed this move on Euro Australian dollar. I analyzed it yesterday and I was looking for buys on Australian dollar. Yeah, it played out as expected. Played out as expected. Okay, so you can see yesterday candle closed as looks like an hammer, though not a valid hammer. And I think they swept the low. Okay, they didn't. Okay, so you can see the pattern we had here. Then if you go down to 4 hour, let's see the pattern. I think a bullish reversal pattern formed on 4 hour, you can see, and hammer formed on 4 hour. Hammer formed on 4 hour, but I was expecting price to pull back. Okay, it didn't come to my entry. I was expecting price to pull back to a discount area. It didn't pull back. Okay, I will pull back to this level. It did actually. It did. Right? It did. Pulled back at this point. So having opportunity to buy. So EA is still bullish. It is bullish. It is bullish. Most likely it's coming to fill this fair value. Most likely it's coming to fill this fair value gap. Okay. So I feel this, come fill this fair value gap. Okay, so that's my take on Euro Australian dollar. Is there another pair you want me to analyze? If you have any question, let me know. Let me know in the comment section if you have any question. I think that will be all for today's class. That will be all for today's session if there are no questions. Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. If there's any other pair you want me to analyze, let me know. Any question? Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? All right, there are no questions. So that will be all for today's session. I appreciate every one of you for your participation. If it's your first time joining the live stream, please do subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. Lighton, appreciate your participation. Dimax, Isaiah, Mr. Isaiah, I appreciate your, then Okweyemi, I appreciate your participation. Bolaji, appreciate your participation. Appreciate your participation. I wish you guys all the best. I wish you guys all the best.